It's YouTube, baby. So I went to G Fest this weekend. I'll tell you about that. Like it's the weirdest ran thing like I'm gonna say dumbest ran thing I've ever been to. They don't have first off on their website they have maps, but it's like not like it doesn't tell you like anything like as far as entrance into the thing. It's like, here's the room, this is what's in it. And so like it's in this big hotel lobby, and there's like
Indicator?
no, this is up in Rosemont.
Oh, Rosemont. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And so like there's the like and way away is the autograph room. And they just had like on the thing like, oh, autograph room is over this way. I'm like, how am I supposed to know where any of this shit is? And then there's this big ass line. Like I got in, I saw this big ass line. I'm like, oh, that's got to be for registration. And then the line goes past registration. I'm like, what the fuck is that line for? And so then I just walked over the registration, got my stuff, and I found out that big line was just to get into the dealer's room. Because
Okay.
yeah, they were only allowing 20 people in at a time, but they weren't counting as people left.
Well, how big was the room if they're only letting 20 people in?
It didn't seem very big. It didn't seem as big as the old dealer room that they had at G that the prior G Fest I went to. But it's
Also,
just
that's a
like,
bad idea anyways, because if only 20 people are walking in that room, all the dealers, I bet, are like piranhas, you know?
dude, the thing is though, they like since they were only letting 20 people in, but they weren't counting as they left, the fucking dealer room was overran anyway. It didn't matter because they're just like, okay, 20. And they went in, and then like the people don't know how to um move. So they would just kind of sit in the middle of the aisles and stuff, and it was just a mess. And then like talk about overpriced. Like it was like stuff was just impressively overpriced. Like I got some shirts and they were about normal shirt price, but still like there was figures and shit where like so there was a giant X Plus Godzilla, and it looked like it's like when Godzilla like was clapping, and I think it was Kong versus Godzilla, like the original, and he's like doing like this like goofy clap. It's like that. They wanted $1,200 for it.
Huh.
Yeah. And then there's a
Now, I
lot.
don't know shit about Godzilla toy prices, but that sounds high.
I mean, it fucking blew my hair back when I saw it. And then oh, they had just this like a single Rodan Trend Master, $50. And then they had like so the Trend Master made these micro machine type things, or not micro machine, like it'd be like Polly Pocket or Mighty Max, where it was like a Godzilla head and they had the little toys inside. These weren't on card. They just had the card kind of stapled to a baggie that the thing was in. 125.
So you took three of them.
Yeah, I was like, all of them, please. But now, like, it was just everything was so expensive. And then, like, they had a secondary room that was for vendors. No fucking clue where it was at because, like I said, the maps were shit. They don't actually tell you anything. And then they had an artist alley somewhere, but it's like I don't really need to see Matt Frank, so I'm good that way.
Dude, okay. I understand a smaller con, does the whole hotel banquet thing, but you just gotta find like a college auditorium or something to put all that shit in the same room. You
Yep.
can't be doing that.
Yeah. No, 100%. Or if you're going to do it that way, because it had multiple rooms. So, like, I know when I worked at the Regency, so like, we would, if there was a big wedding, because they had rooms right by each other and they had the fake walls set up. Take the fucking fake walls down, make it one giant fucking room.
Hmm.
Use your fucking brain, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it's like but I got to meet the suit actress that was in Baragon, and she signed my GMK. So now I got it signed by Godzilla and Baragon, which is pretty cool.
Is she
It
the
was
one that did the adorable growl that you like?
yeah.
Nice.
It was funny when she saw that I had autographed by Godzilla. I can't remember the guy that played Godzilla's name, but she's like, "Oh, so and so song." Like when she first saw that, and then she autographed it and stuff, and then we posed, which that was cool. I'm like, I don't know if that was worth the 3 hour drive, but it was still pretty sweet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the picture was cool, the shirts were cool, so it's like,
Yeah, it's just like if like G-Fest is only good, like I think really only good for the guests because it's like with the internet now you can get stuff cheaper online. Like I still like to get at least one Godzilla figure when I go, but like you noticed in my thing, I didn't get very many.
yeah.
Oh, that fucking mint in box that I have Trendmaster Godzilla Town playset, 350. I don't even know if it was mint in box on their end either. Like mine's still all in the bags. They wanted 350 for it.
I I get that, everyone's different and how they approach a con is going to be different, but when we were setting up at local shows pretty heavily, I'm pricing stuff to get rid of it. I don't want to take
Yeah,
it back to the shop.
that makes 100% sense to me.
Yeah.
Like I get some of these guys because like I know there's like they don't like some of these guys don't have brick and mortar shops. Like all they do is internet and going to cons. And so it's like I get that you're just keeping your prices the same, but still I don't get why you're pricing it that high to begin with.
Yeah. I think we're past that point where like sometimes you're like, okay, at the con, this is going to be a little more expensive,
Hmm.
but we've taken it a step further now.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
It's
I
like
if when we do C2E2 or any other show, I'm not even looking for the high end stuff anymore. It's like, nope, I'm just gonna get the cheap stuff to fill holes because I know that anything key that I would want is going to be double.
yeah. Only way that I think I mean, we do this, and Mike's really good about doing this, is like, you get like, you're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna use you as an example, be like, they have they have Journey to Mystery, and it's really expensive, but you're like, that's still a doable price, and they also have these Nightwings that I want. I'm gonna see if I can get a bundle and get a discount on that Journey, like shit like that. I can see it working, but no, if you're just gonna straight up buy what you want at the con, unless it's just kind of like graded and the exact grade that you want, then it's like, well, I guess, and you have the money, pay up for that, but still,
Yeah.
that'd be about the only way.
Yeah. All righty, man. Anything else?
Uh, no, I think I complained enough.
Well, that's good because I get to complain on the normal episode.
Sweet. You're like, you guys did terrible without me.
All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Richter to my Alucard. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
Good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
Thanks. Wanted to say thank you again to Preston for stepping in, being
Yeah,
a being a good co-host.
I was a little worried that it was going to be like that awkward moment when the first time you hang out with one of your friends' friends. It's like, oh, what are like this isn't going to work out at all, but it seemed to.
Yeah, it
It's like he was texting you afterwards, like, oh, I fucking hate
Casey's the fucking worst.
him.
No, it was good. I actually listened to it this morning, um, and I liked it. It was good stuff. Good conversation.
I will say. And for any of those that are listening that use this app, Clipchamp is the absolute worst editing software for videos.
Yeah.
I ended up having to edit it about 3 times and waiting like hours for it just to load, and then it'd be like, ah, it doesn't work. Sorry, try again. I'm like,
Yep, that's why I bought software.
yep.
So fear not, Daddy Editor Jake is back. Um, all right, so let's start off with a YouTube comment. It comes from Gerbla. He says, my Fantastic Four for indie comics. Number one, Hellboy. Glad I watched the movie first because the comic was way better, but if I hadn't seen the movie, I probably wouldn't have read the book. It combines unique and amazing art with paranormal lore that is rooted in real folklore and history, with a main character that is like a nicer Ben Grimm. Number two, Kaiju Max. Casey already said this, but it is amazing. It does a great job of towing the line between edgy prison drama and full tilt nerdy kaiju stuff. Number three, Mountainhead. I don't know that I'd recommend this to everyone, but I loved it. It's scary and beautiful. And number four, Sync. This might actually be my favorite comic right now. It's like all the weird movies that used to be at the video store back in the day all happened in the same town. It's horror, it's action, it's comedy. I'd like to point out that all of these but Hellboy were shown to me by Casey, so thanks, Casey.
It was funny. He was me and him saw each other on Sunday, and he was like, "Yeah, I left the comment, but I just thought of so many more afterwards that I just forgot about." I'm like, "Yeah, that was the same way."
So I wrote down mine.
Oh, sweet.
Um, and that any of these can be swamped out at any time, but the one that can't, and you said it, was Saga.
Hmm.
I was like, maybe that's too mainstream, but at this point, I mean, it's creator-owned an image, so you got to
Oh
say
yeah.
it. I'm also going to say Die. Everyone that listens to this knows how much I love Die. Headlopper, really, really like Headlopper. And I don't know if this counts. It's Vertigo, but it's Northlanders. It's just a really good Viking comic that I was obsessed with for quite some time. So
Right on. And I was just thinking, I've thought this for a little bit, but we need to try to get Nick and John Lee's on at the same time because it's just like I think they'd be best friends. Like
yeah.
two horror wrestling nerds. The only difference is one's Scottish and one's American.
I know. They're both extremely easy to talk to.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, appreciate the comment, Nick. I out of all those, well, I've only read two of them. I've only read Mountainhead and Hellboy, but those are both really, really good books. I was
And
way
I
late
think
to
you
the
would like
game.
Kaiju Max if you ever had the chance to read it.
Yeah, I flipped through it a couple times. Just haven't pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah.
But all right. So now on to the news. I had one from last week, so it's old
Yeah.
news at this point, but that's all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I'm like, I have a feeling Jake's gonna be a lot more excited about this than I am. So I was like, I'll just let him say it.
Yeah, so we're getting a book in October that's called Batman Full Moon. It's going to be Batman and werewolves. It'll be 4 issues by Rodney Barnes and Stevan Subic. So yeah, I am very excited for that. I mean, I like Elseworld stuff anyway. I assume
Hmm.
this will be Elseworlds. But come on, Batman and werewolves, it's got to be fun.
Did you ever watch that? So I watched on Cartoon Network, and it was the Batman meets Dracula or versus Dracula. Like it was Yeah, the Batman cartoon that was after animated series. It
Yeah.
was okay. Did you ever watch that?
I know I did, but I couldn't tell you anything that happened in it.
Yeah, because like I watched it on Cartoon Network. I remember going into it thinking it was gonna be stupid because I didn't really like that cartoon, but I was actually like left impressed. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, this is actually good.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Dracula's design was really cool in that one.
Yeah,
Didn't love the Batman design because he looked
yeah.
like
Jackie Chan.
well,
Yeah.
I mean the cowl was very like
Oh yeah,
Blue Falcon almost, you know.
yeah. I get that. All right, so we're gonna be getting. I'll start with this. X-Men '97 gets a new writer in Matthew Chauncey, and he's gonna be head for season 3. He wrote What If, Thor: Love and Thunder, and Ms. Marvel. So Jake's like, he wrote Thor: Love and Thunder. I gotta be checking out the third season for sure.
Yeah, I still need to watch that 97. I haven't seen it
Yeah,
yet, but
heard nothing but good things.
yeah, same.
I'm still confused about Morph though, because in the old series, the human face, and then in this one they're like, we're going exile style instead. And then I don't know if they actually explain why at all. And he was evil at the end of the old series, or at least what I remember from the old series.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that this new one just picked up where the old one left off, but maybe not.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It's like because there's a lot of stuff in like the final 2 seasons I don't fucking remember with that X-Men show because I think I was mostly watching like reruns and stuff.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I just never saw, when Morph came back or anything like that. So I don't know.
yeah. Um, okay, so a couple days ago we got the trailer for Captain America Brave New World. I didn't think it looked too bad. Did you watch it?
It looked fine. I'm worried about that movie though because it's been like reshoot hell. So it's like,
Oh, really?
yeah, they know how to cut a good trailer, but I don't know about this. I'm still like, just give Falcon something that makes him, a super soldier because you're really trying to tell me the guy that got shown up in Captain America and the Winter Soldier constantly is able to be Captain America now. It's like you did a terrible job of introducing us to him then.
Yeah. I don't know. The big takeaway for me was like it's nice. It feels as self-contained as Winter Soldier. It's not some big universe-ending thing. It's like a political thriller.
Hmm.
Uh, so I don't know. Hopefully that's cool. Didn't love the one shot we got a Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully it looks better. I'll say this though, at least in the scenes we got in the trailer, it seemed like Harrison Ford was trying on this one and not just
Yeah.
kind of, phoning it in like he can do with some nerdy properties.
The the only downside to Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross though is like the I know he passed away, but that dude that they used to have was perfect.
Hmm.
And Harrison Ford, it's still like Harrison Ford, you know what I mean? Like where the other guy was like, that's Thunderbolt Ross. This is like, this is Harrison Ford playing Thunderbolt Ross type of thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But I love Harrison Ford,
Oh
so
yeah.
it's whatever.
Yeah. I just think it's nice that he's playing president again. Hope he throws Anthony Mackie off of a plane. It's like, get off my plane.
He might, because I don't know if you know this, Casey. Spoiler alert, people. That's Red Hulk.
I think
He's
it'd be
like the
cool
strongest Marvel character ever.
with the Lobe Force. You have to
Yes,
toss that in there.
I know.
But I mean, I think it'd be kind of neat if they did like they pulled the wool over our eyes and it's not. They had someone else like they did the big reveal. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it'd be cool.
Yeah. Also, as I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah, Esposito is supposed to be, some big character. I couldn't tell from that trailer who he's supposed to be.
He said that no one's guessed it yet. So
Well, then it can't be that big of a character. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, it'd be funny if it's like I'm actually ego. Oh, I'm trying to think of like a
Gladiator.
yeah.
Just something
He's like
crazy.
I'm Lil Andra, the Shi'ar
Right.
lady. They're like
Huh?
that's that's
Hey,
terrible casting.
they're using the Lady Silver Surfer.
Yeah. I
So,
saw a rumor really quick. I saw a rumor where it said that she's only gonna appear in that movie and then that's all she's doing. So she'll probably die or, give herself up to save the universe or something. Who knows? I have a feeling
well,
that movie just seems like it's gonna be a mess.
I agree, but I think that's also a way for Marvel to be like, oh well, it was multiverse Silver Surfer. Now we're giving you the one you want, the man. See, everybody,
Yeah.
don't you love Marvel?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so you got any big Beetlejuice fans at the shop?
I mean, I've got Beetlejuice fans.
I mean, like, you got any big ones that you're like, oh, these guys are
That's
gonna
the
be
thing, though.
loving.
I don't know anybody that's like my favorite thing, Beetlejuice.
Oh, okay. Well, I got news that's gonna excite somebody maybe out there. We are getting Beetlejuice variant covers through DC. And, they look pretty neat. I'm not gonna be like I need to get these, but they look cool, I guess.
Did this is a little bit of a tangent. Did you watch that Beetlejuice cartoon when we were kids?
Yeah,
Did you
a
like
little
it?
bit. I remember liking it, and I remember being but I watched that before I ever watched the movie, so I was very confused that he was a bad guy.
Ah, I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. The variant month thing, it's like it's gonna be neat. I don't know of anybody that's gonna be like, I'm gonna need all of those Beetlejuice covers.
Yeah, right.
And I'm sure some of them will look really cool too.
There's a Nightwing one where he's smacking his fat ass.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's funny.
I mean, not to be on my high horse though. If they had a Beetlejuice cover where he was playing the bongos on Power Girl's boobs, people would throw a fit.
Yeah, I totally agree. Gosh, dude, why'd they give him such a fat ass on this cover? That's insane.
Because they know what sells.
I guess. Anyway.
I just thought something really funny. Alex Ross drawn Nightwing, you know how he will use like body doubles? He's like, I need someone with the fattest ass you got so I can draw this.
I wish that Alex Ross would come back to DC for some variants.
hmm
Marvel must be just paying him something stupid over there.
Yeah. It's probably something stupid, plus they're probably like, what do you want to draw? And he's like, oh, Fantastic Four and Thor, and like, do it.
Yeah. I mean, we're between the two of us, we're picking up both of those, so there's
Yeah.
no complaints over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got complaints about Fantastic Four, but it's not his
But
fault.
it's not the cover. All right, so DC is doing an all-in on their YouTube channel on Wednesday at noon. So whenever you're hearing this, it's tomorrow, and it's going to be with Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson. They're going to be talking about, um, their Ultimates universe, whatever it's
Hmm.
called. I'm totally blanking on it right
Yeah, I don't
now.
remember.
Absolutes?
Maybe.
Yeah. So I'm sure that come next episode, we will have some news about what was announced there. I'm looking forward to it. I think, those two heading something at DC, that's a no-brainer for me picking it up.
Yeah, it kind of with it. Williamson also being a major part of that kind of makes me think, yeah, he's not gonna be the Spider-Man head writer like we were talking it could have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, I agree. And if it is, it's like, dude, what are you doing? I thought you wanted time off.
Yeah. All right, so here's some casting rumors that I saw online, and it's that Kumail Nanjiani has been allegedly cast as Booster Gold. With a lot of these DC castings, I'm not gonna buy them until Gunn says them, you know, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one was legit. But I'm not a huge fan of that casting though.
Me either. And I like Kumail.
Hmm.
That it just doesn't make sense. Like why and you and Preston talked about it last week with Nathan Fillion, Sky Gardner. What is he doing casting all these old heads? No
Right?
offense, because Kumail got fucking shredded for Eternals and he looked great.
Yeah, he's still in his 40s,
Exactly.
being someone that should be probably 28,
Yeah,
30, going back in time. And then it's also too, I'm just gonna say this, and it's like one of the things that's like a big character trait of Booster Gold is he was the all-American kid, white, blonde hair, blue eyes, just the perfect guy, and then he fucked up, and it's like that's one of those things where it's like that's a big part of his character is at least originally, like later on when he's doing more time traveling stuff and he's more established, it's not really that big of a deal anymore. But
yeah,
like the initial start, it kind of is a big deal. Like that's why like a lot of his fans were pissed off when they made him Canadian even.
right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But can't complain too much about that nowadays.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of whenever everybody wanted Iron Fist to be Asian. It's like, but that doesn't make any sense for the character. None of you know anything about anything.
Like you can make an argument that with Iron Fist being Asian and having the deal, like because he could be like, oh, culturally white or whatever, and they could go through it that way, but they would have to have much more talented writers than what they had on that show to actually make that work.
Yeah, you can't be like, yeah, I don't know, you just can't be like, don't do stereotypes. Let's make the karate guy Asian. It's like, give me a
Yeah.
fucking break,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, it's so like I don't know. It's weird, but I'm just not sure about Kumail as a old Booster, but I'd probably still watch it because I like Booster and I like Kumail. I'm just not like
Oh, I'll still watch it too. You know who I think he'd be good as though?
who.
Skeets.
Yeah, though he's a little too sarcastic, like just naturally sarcastic to be Skeets. Skeets loves Booster so much.
Yeah, but I think he could do it though.
He could probably do it, but like I don't know. It's just like that seems to be limiting what Kumail's got going.
Maybe. Do your last one because I mine's gonna be a bit of a rant.
All right. So this is exciting. We're getting James Robinson, who we talk about all the time. We're like, oh, we love James so much. Why doesn't he write anymore? And he's coming back to write with Tony Harris. And they're going to be doing a Black Label Starman series. It's going to explore Jack's return to Opal City. So this is the first time we've seen Jack since Starman ended, basically. Like he had a cameo in Identity Crisis. By cameo, I mean he was at the funeral, but there is no spoken lines, and yeah, it's pretty exciting.
It feels like it's been that long since we've seen James.
Yeah, right.
And I know that that's not the case, but I don't know. I'm so excited. I know you're more excited, but I'm just glad that he's back.
Yeah, I'm like a little torn on like 'cause, like it's exciting that's because I mean only James is allowed to write Jack Knight unless he gives them permission, but because he had that actually written up in his contract. But it's like so I know he's gonna do the job that he wants done, but it's like, man, Jack had a really nice ending. And I kind of wish it would just stay that way. Like when he did Blackest Night, it was like, oh yeah, it's where I'm just gonna do this as a shade story because there's no point in getting Jack back into this shit, you know? And also like the Blackest Night story wouldn't have worked because he already had like a good relationship. Like he talked to his brother all the time in the series, and it was like, yeah, you're dead, but you know, we're cool now, we're friends. Like I don't think a zombified him's gonna do much. And then like him and his dad were good before they died. So it's like maybe the mist could have popped up and that would have messed with them, but I don't think it would have, you know, like so it made sense that it was the shade instead. But
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's probably not this way, but there's a slight chance that it could kind of be slice of life
Hmm.
to where Jack doesn't have to be dragged all the way back into super heroics. Like there can be conflict, but it doesn't have to spoil that good ending.
Yeah. I wonder if his kid, because his kid's gonna be in it, you know that's gonna be a thing. If his kid's gonna be angsty like he was, or if it's gonna be, you know, like like a kid that's like, ooh, I just love antiques, Papa.
Dude, how could he not be angsty when his parents are Jack and the Mist?
Right?
I'm excited.
Same here.
Any idea when that's coming out?
I think it's supposed to be coming out this year, like the first issue. I think it's like I thought I saw October. That's what my brain's telling me, but I could be full of shit.
No, I
I was like
believe it.
kind of, I was like kind of like foaming at the mouth when I saw it. I'm like, oh my God. So I didn't
You
really,
blacked out for a
yeah.
second. Oh man. Seeing if I can find an answer to that.
I gotcha. I kind of hope that we get like McCall Thomas in there too. And I mean, I know Shade's gonna be in it because James can't write anything without the Shade showing up. But like, I hope we get the other Starman. Probably won't get the other Starman, but
Yeah, nothing yet. Everything says hopefully we'll hear something at San Diego.
oh, okay. That's coming up, right?
Yeah,
Like this weekend?
I think it is this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna go sell some comics?
Yeah. I'm sure a table there is probably $3,000.
We'll just drop the Two Worlds podcast name. Like, I have a podcast. They're like, get in line, you nerd.
All right, my last bit. This is like industry news for retailers, but Boom Studios got purchased by Penguin Random House this week. So Boom is going to be leaving Diamond altogether. And that means that if retailers want to order any Boom comics, they have to go through Penguin Random House. And I've complained about this before, but in case nobody has heard this or needs a refresher, ordering from Penguin is a pain in the ass for smaller stores. And I don't know how it would be different from larger stores, but clearly people are buying from them. Whenever you do an order to Penguin, you have to pay for the book or books right then and there whenever you place the order. It's not it's not charged to you the week that the book comes out. So if you're doing your FOC, which is a month in advance, or you're doing the initial order, which is 2 months in advance, you're paying for books a month or two in advance and then not getting the money for those until way later. That doesn't work. That
Hmm.
doesn't work. Diamond and Lunar, you place the order for that book and then you get an invoice the week that the book comes out and you pay for it then and then you get your money back on the sales from that week. That seems like a no-brainer to me. So I don't know. This is a huge bummer personally. Uh I mean, every store is different. I'm sure some people are probably excited for it if they don't shop through Diamond at all. But I don't know. It's gonna make me not order as many Boom books, or if I'm going to, it's gonna be, you know, I don't know. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is if you shop through me, my store, and you want a Boom title, put it on your pull list or let me know. Because I'm not just gonna order some random Boom stuff anymore in the hopes that it sells, because I'm just not gonna pay for a book that might sell a month later.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that all make sense, or is that just
Yeah.
like, I
No,
don't
it
know.
makes 100% sense. Like it, the one plus is like at least it's not, at least they didn't, get exclusive with like a big company. Like it's just Boom. Like I'm assuming you don't have a huge, you know, contingency of people that are like, no, I need every Boom title like they are with Marvel and DC. You know what I mean?
They're not, but I mean, I would say that Boom has been on the up for a few years.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, they might even be the biggest small press company after Image.
Yeah. That's
So
still, I mean, that's still, I'm assuming a small piece of the pie. So it's not like as big of a hit as if it was Image or something, something like that.
that's true. That's true. It's just a lot of bigger creators are, getting deals through Boom. The one
Yeah.
that came to mind was, Philip Kennedy Johnson's Crocodile Black. Something is killing the children.
I bet you, because this is usually how it goes though, when like a big company buys a smaller company. A lot of these big deals where like the exclusive deals are gonna go away because they're like why are because then you get these executives that don't understand that oh this is why this was working. They'll be like why are we spending so much money on this stuff, let's do away with that and keep making money, and then they're like you just got rid of the reason why we're making money.
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I wanted to work out for Boom. It's just like I don't know. And I've voiced my complaints to Penguin several times.
Hmm.
Like, hey, I would love to give you money over Diamond, but I mean, gosh, I'm not racking up thousands of dollars and not seeing that return.
Yeah, no, I get that,
It's
man.
crazy. Crazy pants. All right. What'd
What'd
you
you
read,
read
buddy?
it? I
Got his
read
ass.
I read the Teenage Mutant Turtles 40th anniversary comics celebration. Ghost Rider Final Vengeance #5, Hulk Blood Hunt one shot, Batman and Robin 11, Green Lantern 13, Daredevil 11, and X-Men #1. Really quick, did you read the old Absolute Power #1?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Oh, okay, because I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
Yeah. I mean, it was a free comp, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Yeah. Um, okay. I didn't get to read everything that I wanted to because I was gone, but I think I got all of our Miuchis. I read Daredevil, Batman and Robin, Green Lantern, X-Men, uh, Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu, Blood Hunt Werewolf by Night, and Thundercats Chitara.
Ooh, you missed out on the Incredible Hulk, man.
Look, I did my best.
No, I know. Are you going to still read it or?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay,
just I had like 2 weeks worth of books to read today, and that's what I got to from this
I
last week.
gotcha.
So,
No, I gotcha, man. So yeah, we read about the same amount, so I'll let you go first since you've been gone. Since you've been gone.
okay, I'll start with Chitara. #1. It's written by Sue Lee with art by Domenico Carbone. I had pretty low expectations for this because I'm like, it's a spinoff and it's not written by Declan, so I didn't really have expectations one way or the other, but it ended up being really good. The art especially. Art is very, very good. Um, but it's essentially about Chitara's origin story and kind of what she was doing when Lion-O was, too young to be the leader of the Thundercats, and like Thundera is thriving before the mutant attack and all that stuff. So pretty interesting. It really shows how Chitara was Lion-O's mom, essentially, because his mom wasn't around and his dad was old and decrepit. So it was good. Good conflict, internal conflict with Chitara, and it's just kind of fun to see Thundera. I don't know if it was in its prime, but it's certainly better than where we normally see it. So I liked it a lot. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice. I picture you reading that book like the dean from Community, like this better not awaken anything in me.
It would have by now if it was
Yeah.
gonna.
You're like, it's been awoken a long time ago.
Oh, I will say it's always cool when I see it drawn or whatever. And I know that it was part of the 80s toy line too, but their big uh you know lion temple thing. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
talking about?
Yep.
It's
You
so
can,
cool.
dude, I think I sent it to you. I think it's Super
Yeah.
7. I think it's like $750 too.
Yep. It's insane.
So, yeah, so guys, what I'm saying is if you guys all just donate some money for poor old Jake to get one of those, he'll do a video of him playing like he is what, like an 8-year-old,
Yeah.
just playing and yeah, as one of those in his bathtub. He'll be wearing swim trunks though.
But donate a little extra and
Yeah,
I'll do a version without the swim trunks.
yeah, exactly. His wiener will be painted as the
The
bad
Sword
guy
of
in
Omens.
I was gonna say
Oh.
the bad guy in the bandages.
Mum Ra.
Yeah,
That's great.
the old mum job. Okay, so the Teenage Mutant Turtles 40th anniversary comic celebration. We got a whole mess of stories. So the first, like, it's kind of like separated into different things. So we got Mirage stuff, and then we have like different stuff from the, like cartoons and stuff, which was pretty neat. And like the other comics, so like the first Mirage one's by Kevin Eastman, and then it's poetry, like they just use the Edgar Allan Poe poem. And it's, like I don't remember which poem it is, but it's Alone by Edgar Allan Poe. And so that they had that. It was neat. Then we had another story called Monsters, and this is
Did they
by
say quaff the turtles cowabunga?
no, I wish. This was just the literal poem. It
Gotcha.
wasn't anything special. And then Monsters, it's by Jim Lawson. He did the story art and letters. The art's not very good, but it kind of worked for the story. Like I'll show you.
Hmm.
But when you're reading it, it works. Like if that makes any sense. That's Rat King, and they beat up, they fight Rat King to try to save a kid. Then there's Gang Wars by Tristan Jones and art by Paul Harmon. And yeah, it's pretty neat. It just kind of like went through some stuff that, they all went through. And it was all April talking. And then we got Urban Legends downtime. So like this is like that era where Raph was training the Foot Clan, Donatello was a cyborg, Leo, I think Splinter was a bat, or like not a bat, but a vampire, and Mikey was a babysitter, and and so like it's yeah they're going through stuff, and like since Donatello is still trying to like figure out his robot body, there's one part where he turns into a boat, which I thought was really funny. He's like, "You guys want to get in?" And
The
they're like,
face is funny.
"No." And so yeah, it was neat. And then we have like one of the cartoon universe ones where it's like April meeting Macy Jones for the first time, and it's like sploosh central for her. And then we get that one we get that one. It was by Chris Allen. He did both art and story, and then another cartoon universe one, and this is by Eric Burnham with Sarah Meyer, and it's good. And then it goes to the next one where it's like done in the style of that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon from when we were probably like middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's by Lloyd Goldfine and Carrie Randolph. And like that's the one that I probably watched the most growing up because it was like the bright, like I watched the other one, but that was like before my time, even though like I was watching reruns, it was still, what I always watched. It's just really Leo heavy. But then so then like they all sounded like the characters I remember though, it was pretty cool. And then we got one from um the next like that next one where they're like a little bit younger looking and it was like a little bit less cool, but then people were like, it's actually still pretty sweet. It's by Ciro Neely. And it was interesting. I'll say that. Like some of the splash pages were kind of neat, but they're dealing with Krang stuff, and I'm just not the biggest Krang guy. Um, and then we get another one that's like a good, it's called Farewell, and it's by Andy Suriano with Tom Napolitano. And this is that universe of turtles where Ben Schwartz is the voice of Leo. It's that cartoon one. And this one didn't do it for me because I just never could get into that cartoon.
Right.
So it was another one of the things like the other ones had fun nostalgia. This one just didn't. Um, then we get an IDW one where it's like a father's there all visiting Splinter's grave. Like everyone, it's like all, it shows all their different personalities with it. And that was good. And then there's another one where they're practicing magic with their magic teacher. I'm not going to say who the magic teacher is because I know Nick he got a humble bundle of all of the TMNT stuff, and it's like this will be some spoilers in there, so I don't know if I should tell him. But it was pretty solid too. And then we get some like covers in the back and stuff. It was good. I mean, I think this is more for people that are bigger Turtles fans than me, but I was like, I still want to give it a go. But it was 11.99, which is a lot of money for a book, but at least it kept coming with all the fun. So I'm gonna say 7.5.
Nice, man. All right. Next up for me, I'm gonna go Werewolf by Night, Blood Hunt one shot. It's by Jason Liu with art by Adam Gorham. It was a pretty fun one shot. Um, it's the new werewolf. His name is Jake something. Jake Gomez. That's what it is.
They really kind of missed the mark. Like the one's Jack Russell, they should have gone with another dog name.
Yeah. Come on, the famous Gomez breed.
It's like, oh yeah,
Um,
my name's Greg Dane.
Greg Dane. That's great. So Jay goes to an abandoned dinosaur themed amusement park to just train, and a bunch of kids are summoning a demon. And then the vampires show up because they see all the lights from that shit going on. And Jake has to turn into the werewolf and fuck up all the vampires and the demon. So it was pretty cool, pretty action packed, one shot. It does end on a bit of a cliffhanger. So, uh, you know, look for the Werewolf by Night miniseries that's different from the other Werewolf by Night
Yeah,
miniseries that's coming out, and we'll see what happens there. But it was fun. I liked it for a one shot. I'm not mad that I read this tie-in. I'm gonna give it a 7.
right on. All right, so Ghost Rider Final Vengeance by Benjamin Percy and Danny Kim. And so yeah, the Hoods, taking over Chicago, going through, making sure everything's his way and whatnot. And then like Johnny is teaming up with this dude that can turn into ravens, and they go to a church and they get weapons to take on the thing. And like they have faceless nun that's showing them the weapons and stuff. And yeah, the cuts back to the Hood doing his Hood stuff, and then he's gonna like take all, just burn down Chicago, and then the Johnny shows up with his buddy, and he's got his old 90s costume on with the big trench coat and stuff, and then he's got his Hellfire guns. I'm like, hell yeah. So I'm just looking at this now. This artist, I don't like, because you know more about guns than me, but that doesn't look like any type of shotgun. I like with the way that this here is, like the um
Yeah.
shaft,
Yeah.
like mixed with that the pump, like the pump action and that don't match to me. But it's a Hellfire shotgun, it had to have it made special for him.
Yeah, I thought double barrels were not pump, they're break action.
Yeah,
But maybe there's one out there and I just don't know about
yeah.
it.
But yeah, no, I mean it's fun, it's cool, it was funny. I'm gonna go 8-5.
Okay. All right. So Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu #0. It was that surprise issue that dropped. Um, let's see, it's by Jed McKay with art by Alessandro Cappuccio. So the normal Moon Knight team as of late. Cappuccio went crazy hard on the art. It almost looks like Bill Sienkiewicz, which is really cool. Um, but the whole issue is just about Khonshu and how he feels about the cast of characters it's been in Moon Knight lately. So he talks about Reese and Soldier and Eight Ball and Hunter's Moon and the therapist, and then Mark and his personalities. So it was just really cool. You don't really get that too much. Oh, and Tigra as well. So I liked it. It's nice to see where he stands on all this. He even goes and talks to uh Rack or however you pronounce it to be like, yo, what are you gonna do if your avatar Strange doesn't get his body back? And I don't know, just cool. Jed McKay
Yeah.
just writes some cool shit, man. And then at the end, there's like a backup story called Waxing Moon by Joe Kelly with art by Emilio Liso. Oh, yeah, the backup is when he goes to talk to Cyttorak. So that wasn't Jed McKay. It was still cool. Um, so yeah, I liked it a lot. I'm looking forward to, whenever Vengeance wraps up and we get this Fist of Khonshu book. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Really liked it.
Right on, man. Okie dokie. So the Incredible Hulk Blood Hunt one shot. So this is by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Danny Earls. And yeah, it starts off in Arizona 50 years ago. This kid's running away, and turns out he's running from vampires that hide behind, under the ground. And Bruce is walking still. He still has his little doll of that's the girl. Meets the guy, you know, you get Bruce fighting vampires, which is pretty sweet. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You're gonna like it a lot since you've been liking this stuff. It's like, just one of those kind of like fun filler issues, since it's just like, oh yeah, he's just dealing with vampires this issue. Like the stuff in the main story is still going on. He at least recognizes that. But it is what it is. It's fun. It's 8.5.
Cool. Glad it was good. I'm just down to Ormichis.
Me too, man. So what order did you want to do these in?
Whatever you want.
All right. So I'm gonna swap this here. All right, let's go Batman, Robin, Daredevil, Green Lantern, and X-Men. Finish on the new book.
All right. Batman, Daredevil, Lantern, X-Men.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Batman and Robin #11 by Joshua Williamson and Juan Ferreira on the art. Um, I love Juan Ferreira's art. I
I do
thought
too.
it was fucking killer in this issue.
Hmm.
And he also did the colors for it too. And the colors were just a delight.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, it was a good story. You know, we get Bane on Dinosaur Island and little character we haven't seen in a while, man. Old Vengeance.
old muscle mommy herself.
Yeah. But I liked everything about this book.
Yeah, no, I mean this was a 9 out of 10 for me. It's like, oh yeah, Bane's on an island killing dinosaurs, fighting people, just being awesome. And I don't know, like I don't know really where anyone's got stuff to complain about. Um, I liked it a lot. What'd you think though? I mean, I already know what you think, but where you at with it?
Honestly, probably a 10. I want to say it's my pick of the week.
Yeah,
It was just fun.
it was really close, but I have a different pick of the week. Speaking of pick of the week, Daredevil issue 11 by Saladin Ahmed and Aaron Cooter on the art. And I'm just gonna say we are critical of John Romita Jr., but I dig the cover. Helps that's just a close up of a face though. I think yeah, I think John Romita Jr. could draw anything, and you'd be like, nope. Just oh, you're just a little too critical of him, man.
No, I'm not. I can not like something and not be
No,
okay.
no, I mean it is, but I'm just like, what? I mean, there's just there's not a lot going on, so I don't know why you don't like this one. It doesn't look like it's not like his overly blocky shit that he normally does.
It's still very clearly his style though.
Yeah,
It's heavy ink marks. I just don't like it. It's just not good.
fair enough, man.
It's not the worst he's ever done, but it's nothing to be like, oh, this is a cool cover.
I'm saying it's a good cover. I'm not saying I would buy it for this cover, but I'm like, yeah, this is better than, you know, other shit that we've gotten. But so yeah, Daredevil is at the bottom of an elevator shaft. Daredevil saves she saves him and Daredevil saves Daredevil and then gives him some Asgardian healing stuff, and that little shit that thinks Daredevil killed his dad and is still out doing some stuff. Bullseye gets they deal with that, and they're dealing with Kingpin too, and looks like there's gonna be another demon thing happening with Bullseye. I just really liked it. I like both the Daredevils. I like how Saladin writes everything. What about you, man? What did you think of it?
It was good. I liked it a lot. Um, I think Saladin's writing that stuff with the kid pretty well. I think it's a little cheesy, the Asgardian poultice thing. It's like, and they can just whip that out anytime he gets super fucked up at the end of an issue. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I get that.
But whatever. It's like that if that's my only complaint, then whatever. But it's still a really fucking good book. Art's cool. Uh, it's an easy 9 out of 10 for me. I think this book gets better with each issue.
Yeah, I'm at a 9.5, and it's going to be my pick of the week.
All right, and then we've got Green Lantern number 13. It's written by Jeremy Adams with art by Fernando Pisarin. I think like this was a good book. I liked it, but some parts were much better than others, I think. But the thing I like the most is how we get like a little mini story on several different lanterns and what they're up to during all this.
Yeah, it kind of annoyed me. That annoyed me too, though, because it's like they do all like 60% of this book was just like set up for other books. Because like they do
Mhm.
the thing with Sinestro, and they're like, to see what happens, read the book, these two books that you aren't reading. It's like, well, I guess I won't see what happens. And then they do that Alan Scott stuff, and they're like, well, do you want to know what happens with him? Read this book that you're not reading. It's like, oh Lord.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But the The one that really interested me the most was the one about Nathan Broom, who was
Oh yeah, the
Carol's ex. He's all banged up emotionally and reasonably so because Carol left him, and he becomes who I think is a new character. I've never seen this character
yeah,
before.
it's a new thing found on the emotional spectrum because the emotional spectrum's all in tatters right now. So like we now get the sorrow lantern.
Which, you know, if Jeff Johns had come out and said there's a new lantern and it's the Sorrow Lantern, I'd be rolling my eyes. But
I was still.
Jeremy Adams is a good writer, and you got to trust the process until he gives you reason not to.
Well, he did do the one of the dumbest things I've seen in a while in a comic.
Okay.
So Hal is, trapped. He's being beaten up by a king shark type guy who, they're known for being durable. Let's just say that. Like they've taken punches from Superboy. He fucking knocks him out with a headbutt.
Hmm.
Like I read that, I'm like, that's so stupid. Come on, Jeremy Adams, you're better than that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty dumb. But like I said, I liked parts of this book a lot more than other parts.
Yeah, same here. Are you warming up on Hal yet? Because I know you weren't super hot on him in some of the earlier issues. Because you're like, he's kind of
Yeah.
a dick.
No, I really, really like that last one where Carol comes to get him and they have some moments. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
it's nice when he's not like purposefully being a douche.
yeah,
It's like, okay, we get it. You're masking your emotions here, but when he's actually not doing that and being a real person, it's really good. So,
yeah,
and then the backup, by the way, by Mark Guggenheim and Matthew Clark, I didn't really care,
yeah.
but I flipped through and looked at every page of the art. The art was
Hmm.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it was just was not giving a shit about it. I tried to read it, and I just really couldn't. So I'm gonna give it like it would be an 8 for me because like it's still a good Jeremy Adams book, but with that backup, that I just couldn't get through. I'm gonna probably lower it down to a 7, maybe 7.5 in that area.
It's a 6.5 for me.
All right, now the last book, X-Men issue 1 by Jed McKay and Ryan Stegman on the art. And this is our first X-Men book we've read in like Lord knows how. Like for me, it's probably Wolverine since Wolverine and the X-Men. But yeah, we get a new team and I dig it. Like I don't know. I think actually I do know all these. I think I knew all these characters on there. But yeah, I liked Magic and Juggernaut's interactions together probably the most. What do you think though?
I fucking hated it.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
It
okay.
was really good.
I was like, damn, that's surprising.
No, it was good. I also liked Magic and Juggernaut's interactions the most. Um, Stegman's art was pretty good. I've not really read a book consistently with him on the art. Um, I didn't know who Temper was, but she's like that kid from My Hero,
Yeah,
right?
she's the one, if I remember right, that caused the whole schism thing. Because
Oh, the
Cyclops was like,
event.
yeah, because she was like, you know, whatever, and then like she was just a kid, and then Cyclops was like, just take care of him, and then she fucking murders him, and then Wolverine's like, what are you doing, letting this kid, kill these people? Like that was her.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's probably the last time I bought like an X-Men book because that would
Yeah,
have been SIUC days.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, anyway, like Temper was still cool. I think her powers are cool. I do like everyone on the team and I don't really know if Jed's writing them well, but he's writing them in a way that I like them all.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
I my one thing that kind of I'm just gonna say like kind of annoys me just because I don't know and they didn't do a good they he didn't do a great job, but it's also like I'm a new reader, so like of course I'm not gonna know. But I know like Beast was a real jackass on Krakoa. Like he was doing lots of bad things. I don't know how they got past that with this because it seems like this is like the nice Beast that I remember. So I don't really know, if they're gonna get into that. And then like also, if I remember right, Zorn was Magneto and Grant Morrison's X-Men. And
Well,
then
he was basically still wearing the new X-Men costume.
yeah. And but then like they retconned it that he was actually a clone of Magneto because they killed him off or something like that. And so then I'm like, so who is this Zorn then if it's not Magneto, Like it kind of threw me off that way.
I'd never seen him before personally. It's just
Yeah.
I saw the jacket and I was like, wow, that looks like a 2001 new X-Men jacket if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, really the only thing it's like Quentin's annoying, but he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, Cyclops is probably the most tolerable that I've ever read him. I
I
normally am
want to
not a fan.
I also that's another thing too that I want to know with Quentin how he got put back together because it's like the Krakoa stuff's dead and gone. He last I saw him, he was just a fucking head in Antarctica or Alaska.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, overall, I really, really liked it. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna keep going with it.
Yep. You gonna check out Uncanny? Because I'm leaning towards it. Because that's the Gale book. Because it's like the team's pretty solid.
The team is solid, and I do like Gale. I think I'm the Gale fan out of the two of
Yeah,
us. Um, I guess it just depends on what comes out that week, you
that's
know?
fair. Yeah, because it's like I'm not a Gale fan by any means. Like I'm not gonna not check something out that she does, but I'm also not the type that's like Gail Simone's writing this, like how some people are. So, but with that one, I'm like the team's pretty good, and like I hear nothing but good things about her team books versus her other stuff.
Yeah,
But for me, I'm probably at a 9 for it.
I'm at a 9 as well. I thought it was gonna be my pick, and then I read Batman and Robin, so
Yeah, fair enough. But what are you excited for in the coming days at this point?
I am excited for uh actually you go first because I haven't even looked at this list since I typed it 2 weeks ago.
I'll say Destro. Um, hmm, what's the furthest place from here? And fish flies.
All right, I'm gonna go with The Witcher. Probably Briar and then Dark Knights of Steel all winter. That is absolutely my most anticipated.
Yeah. Well, man, Fantastic Four time. So with Starman getting a sequel, give me 4 comics that you want a sequel to.
Sure. Um,
Or in okay, not just a sequel. You could also be like, I'm just gonna toss this out there, and this could be something that's on your list. You're like how Marvel will do those books where it's like, oh, this is, you know, Gray Hulk, or like that type of thing. If you want to do that, so you're like, I want Nightwing by Chuck Dixon and Scott McDaniel again. That'll
mhm.
count.
Gotcha. Um, Gosh, if that's the case, then definitely Walt doing Thor or Beta Ray Bill. Um, Trying to think of some books that I really liked and wanted more of. I'll say this. Any of Brian Wood's like Viking books. He did Northlanders, he did Black Road, and he did Sword Daughter. Unfortunately, shit came out that Brian Wood was kind of a piece of shit person. and he hasn't been around in quite some time. However, I still liked his work before I found out he was a piece of shit, and it's still some of my favorite books. I would love to read something by him again. I don't know, you throw one or two out and I'll think about it. Actually, I'll say Hawkman by Robert Venditti because I love that, and I feel like that's something, even though it also had a good ending, could easily continue. And then uh, Sandman Mystery Theater. I mean, that book technically didn't get to end the way that Matt Wagner wanted. So I would love just one more arc where Matt Wagner gets to revisit that and wrap everything up the way that he wanted to. And in this day and age with Black Label, I don't see why that couldn't happen.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't catch that last one because my like right as you started talking, it froze, and then like at the I just caught the end of it. But you can.
Sandman Mystery Theater.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that should have been a. I should have known that off the top of my head that that was going to be on the list. Um, so like one of mine, I'm gonna say it's less of a like a sequel and more just like I just want more. So give, more Thunderstrike. It's like, just like do like the Marvel does the Gray Hulk stuff. Like that seems like it's actually I wouldn't be surprised if
Their retro series.
oh yeah, I don't know. That's so dumb. But at the same time I would love it.
Me too.
Uh and then I think Grant Morrison's Animal Man would be awesome. Even though it's like it did wrap up super well. It was just really good though. If you ever get a chance, you should read it. And if you're like, I have a feeling if you're a vegan or just like a vegetarian or something, you probably like it even more than I did because it's very animal, focused in that way. Um, and Starman would have probably been on the list, so I'm gonna go with the Shade series that James did instead because that was so good and it didn't get enough people talking about it. He had an issue where Darwin Cook was doing the art.
So
And then
the
the
New 52 one.
was it? Yeah, it would have been
It's
like it
like
was
12 issues during the New
yeah.
52.
And it was like the start of New 52 where they didn't know what the hell they were doing, but they never really knew what the hell they were doing. So, And then trying to think of another Marvel one that I can do that would be pretty solid.
Nova related.
Let's say like a continuation of um oh, the Thing comic that was back in the day. That was a great time.
Yeah.
Love me some big old Rocky boy. Let us know down below though what comics that you'd like continuation of and all that and like why and then tell us all about because I just saw a video on him and people in the comments were like, this character's got so much, he's so cool. So like tell us why you think they should make a Penance movie. He used to be Speedball and now he became super emo. Fuck, that was terrible.
Well, hey, he blew up a whole town during Civil War.
He didn't even do it. He just survived it. Like that was the thing. It's like they were shitty heroes that, could stop Nitro, who's a big kid, big kid villain, and they couldn't stop him, and he blew up everything, and then he was the only one that survived.
I remember that unlocking him in Ultimate Alliance 2. I was like, dang, this seems like such an extreme costume for a kid's game.
Yeah, you were like, but man, the fucking shit he's saying, I relate. I work at Monocles.
That's funny. All right. Well, Casey, what else do you want him to tell us about before I plug in the plugs?
Uh, just I don't know. Tell us your favorite X-Man, unless it's Nate Summers.
Oh gosh. All right, guys. Well, we'd love to stay in chat, but we have to go team up to kick Dracula's ass. So we'll catch you next time. See ya.
We're gonna be tag teaming that Dracula ass hard. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Two Worlds Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at TwoWorldsPod, on Twitter at 2_worlds_PC, and on Facebook at facebook.com/TwoWorldsPodcast. You can email us with any questions or comments at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com, and if you would, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube.